G'day everyone. Before we hop into today's vlog, I just want to remind you to please hit that subscribe button. From now on, I'm going to be putting out daily online poker vlogs. We're going to be tracking my process as I play these 6 max online poker cash games. So far, we've moved up from 1-2 to 2-5, and we're going to keep tracking the process, hopefully as I move up further. But even if I don't, you'll get to see me fall flat on my face 6 out of 7 days of the week. Make sure you hit subscribe so you get the vlogs as they come out. But for now, onto the vlog. G'day everyone, welcome back to the vlog. It is currently 7 AM here in Melbourne. I've just woken up. As you can tell, I did have a little bit of a later start today. I will say that the reason for this is because I stayed up late last night editing yesterday's vlog that you would have seen. So I'm not actually that disappointed. I sort of knew this was going to be the case when I slept in so late yesterday. So just trying to slowly get back to that 5 AM wake up. So the plan for today is to grind the 1,500 hands as usual and hopefully get to sleep earlier than midnight today. But first, I need to get a feed in to get some energy, so let's go. G'day everyone, it's currently 7:15 AM here in Melbourne. Originally my plan was to have some turkey mince with broccoli and bread for breakfast, but I go over to the freezer, out of frozen broccoli, and I go over to the pantry, and I'm out of bread as well. So I ended up just having a banana and a protein shake for breakfast, which is probably a F-grade breakfast in my opinion, but it's sort of better to just do that now than to wait until the shop's open at 8 and then go in there and then just end up wasting probably an extra hour. And I could just have a smaller breakfast now, go in and play some poker, probably stop the session after 2 hours or so, then I'll go to the shops and cook myself a proper breakfast. But for now, I'm going to hop straight in the poker. The plan for today is to play 1,500 hands of A-grade level play. I don't want to waste any more time. Let's get in the hands. It is 6 PM here in Melbourne, and I've just wrapped up my third poker session for the day. Finally, after all this time, I was able to rack up 6 hours and 6 minutes of online poker play today for a grand total of 1,561 hands. So finally, we do get the 1,500 hand goal out for the day. Obviously, it did take me a while. I really think breaking my session up into 3 parts sort of with big breaks in between was the reason why it did take me so long to actually get the volume today, but I've finally done it. Bit nervous about tomorrow. I really don't want to sleep in for a 3rd day in a row. I really do think it is affecting my mental game and ruining my routine. I'm not really sure how I'm going to deal with it, honestly, at the moment. Still brainstorming ideas, but I think the most likely thing is just not sleep much tonight and then come back really early just to try and get that sleep schedule back on track tomorrow. In terms of results from today, I did end up losing 3,524, which is by far the biggest loss we've had since starting the Day-Leigh vlogs. I actually think on any vlog ever, this is the largest amount I've lost. Unfortunately, I thought yesterday was bad. Things got much worse today, at least in terms of the results I was having. For today's gameplay grade, I'm gonna have to give myself a D. The things that I did like about today's session were the fact that I did stick it out and I did get in my full 1,500 hands, even though it did take me until 6 PM. Things I didn't like from today's session: 1, I slept in again and it cost me lots of time and efficiency. 2, I copped a few bad beats, then I went on tilt, and the over-aggression issue I talked about yesterday was definitely still present today. Definitely c-betting really inefficiently in certain spots, definitely double barrel bluffing, even though I already had that table image of this guy's c-betting every board. Like, it just made for a perfect cocktail where people were not looking to fold to my bets. And additionally, there were a lot of crazy action players at my table today. Not really sure what that's about. Maybe it's just a Sunday and all the crazy people are out, but definitely did run bad in some certain high EV spots. Having said that though, I probably didn't need to take every single high EV spot I did, and I could have played a bit more conservative in certain spots, and I probably still would have had a losing day today because I ran bad, but definitely would have controlled the size of the loss, which definitely would have made me a bit less tilted and a bit less liable to just apply the over-aggression. So overall, pretty disappointed with my performance today. The fact I got tilted by bad results again, the over-aggression, clearly these are all still issues for me, and it sucks that I'm having to work through them when I finally do decide to move up to the next biggest game. Unfortunately though, that's the way poker is sometimes, and I really do think getting back to my regular sleeping schedule will definitely help me improve my gameplay grades and try and get some more A grade games out to you, because past few days it just hasn't been on track. So for today's grade, give myself a D. So obviously pretty disappointed with my play throughout the course of today. Like I said, I really do think my main concern once I did go on tilt was just winning pots. It wasn't making EV in poker, it wasn't making logically correct decisions. I just wanted to win pots, and I was playing really aggressively as a result. And this next hand just goes to show you how bad it really did get. So the action falls to me in the cutoff, and I have Queen 10 of clubs. I go ahead and raise it up to 13. Then a loose passive player on the button calls, and we go heads up to a flop of Ace 10 3 with 2 spades and 1 club. The action's on me here, and I think I have a pretty interesting decision here, whether to c-bet or not. I've talked about on this vlog before how I do think it's a very legitimate strategy as the pre-flop raiser to just bet every single hand in your range on an ace-high board, just because you're going to have so many aces here, and your opponent's not as likely to have the strong aces, so it's just a good spot to push your range advantage there. Having said that though, if you were to mix in a check range, I do think checking middle pair back to a flush draw here would be a fine play to make, because it's a very easy check call. I decided to go with the bet everything strategy, and I don't necessarily think it's a mistake, but I do think the fact that I was on tilt and trying to win pots was really the main factor in my decision to c-bet here, which is obviously an issue. Regardless though, I go ahead and bet 11, then my opponent calls. So we are still heads up to a turn, which is the 3 of clubs. So obviously this is a pretty good turn card for us. We do make a flush draw in addition to our pair. Now I think I have a pretty interesting decision yet again, whether I want to bet or not. The reasons I would like betting here are we did pick up so much equity on the turn. Even if our opponent does have a hand like an ace, obviously we have so many outs to improve on that hand to make 2 pair or a stronger hand. So I would like betting it and just pushing that equity. Having said that though, I do actually think I much prefer checking in this spot, just because my opponent is a loose passive opponent. So I do think they have a lot of ace-x hands in their range. Like I wouldn't be surprised if they call with ace-6 offsuit pre-flop. So if they do have a bunch of aces in their hand, I do think it's going to be hard for us to bet and get called by a worse hand. Additionally, if we do check it to them, they're very likely to go ahead and bet those hands, and then we can check call and just try and get there on the river and then mix in a check raiser on the river. So I do think that is a much better play. Like I was saying though, my decisions during the course of this hand were heavily influenced by tilt, and I was really just trying to win pots, and I really wasn't playing as efficiently I could. So I actually make what I think is one of the worst possible decisions I could do here with middle pair. I go ahead and bet 48, the size of the pot. Obviously this is a very large bet. This might be a good move if you're really trying to get your opponent to fold an ace. I just think these passive opponents are very likely to go ahead and fold a hand that's like an ace. So this play is very, very problematic with second pair, in my opinion. Regardless though, I do go ahead and bomb it, and then my opponent, unsurprisingly, calls. So we are heads up to a river still. The river's a good one. The river is the queen of diamonds. So now we're loving life here. We did make our 2 pair on the river. Now, I do think I have a very easy decision. Obviously, I want to keep betting for value. Like I said, my opponent does have a lot of ace hands in their range, and clearly they decided to call a big bet on the turn. I can't see a reason why they wouldn't want to call a big bet on the river. They might put me on a missed flush draw. There were 2 of them out there. So I like betting big here to try and maximize value. I go ahead and bet in 144, and then my opponent snap calls with ace 10. So obviously pretty unfortunate that we did make 2 pair on the river and cooler ourselves. In terms of my decision to bet this big on the river, I don't want to say it's a mistake against a passive opponent who's very likely to call. Like if they had ace jack or ace 9, I definitely could see them calling this bet anyway. So not really kicking myself for the river decision here, but the fact that I did inflate this pot so large on the turn, it definitely did contribute to the big loss I had today. And like I always say in this vlog, the decisions you make poorly on earlier streets, they come back to haunt you like exponentially larger on later streets, just because the pot gets so much bigger. And I really feel like this is a spot where particularly the turn decision really did stuff me up and cost me a big chunk in today's session. As always though, super curious to hear what you guys think of this hand. What do you think about my turn decision? Is it as bad as I'm making out, or is there a lot of merit to it? Obviously the river is an interesting decision as well. Do you think I should have considered betting smaller, or do you like raising it up? Hop in the comments below, let me know what you think. On the turn, do you like betting it, or is it a better spot to just go ahead and check? Hop in the comments below, let me know. That's going to wrap up another vlog for today. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I really do appreciate it. So there's 2 more vlogs before my midweek weekend where I take a day off. And I really do think with this recent downswing in mind, I think it might be a good idea for me to sort of tuck my tails between my legs and crawl back down to the game I feel more comfortable in. So I think come Thursday, after my day off, I think there's a good chance I'll go back to playing 1-2 and then just mixing one table of 2-5. Definitely going to play 2-5 full time for the next 2 days. Obviously our win rate's abysmal at the moment, but hopefully we get a better picture of it after we put in an extra 3,000 hands. Maybe I'll be able to turn it around and rebuild my confidence and feel like I can hang at 2-5, but obviously my mental game is a bit zapped at the moment and it is affecting how I play, unfortunately. So that is something I do want to keep in mind going forward with poker and with the vlog. But with all of that out of the way, I need to go edit this vlog, so I'm out of here. Peace.